Surya Devan is with us here now. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Great. Now, can you just describe to us what it is exactly that you do?
I'm doing my master's in the University of Northampton. So
Mm,
I'm doing a master's in business administration.
yeah.
Before this, I've been working in the healthcare line, so I'm looking to further myself in the same thing.
Yeah. And studying business, is that pretty interesting?
I won't say it's incredibly interesting, but
Mm.
it's something that I think that I have to do in order to remain employable.
Yeah. And I guess understanding a business is maybe one of the best ways to be attractive to an employer, right?
Exactly. What you said, you're correct. You're bang on the right one.
Yeah, absolutely. And previously working in healthcare, have you been involved in any way in this pandemic we've had this last year?
I haven't been involved in the pandemic during the pandemic
Hmm.
itself because to be honest, I've been a bit scared because I don't want to be, on the front line
Yeah,
because right now with the virus, I wouldn't want to get sick or fall sick because I think life's on the line there.
yeah, absolutely. I guess it's a very common thing that people feel, and I suppose a lot of people that work in healthcare would have been really worried at the start of this, and perhaps still are really worried about catching it.
Correct. You're correct about that. I'm pretty sure people are still quite worried about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is your day to day schedule like with your work?
It's pretty easy right now because the classes are on and off. I'm
Yeah.
distance learning because I'm in Singapore.
Mm.
So I'm taking the course from the UK. So
Ah.
the classes are there at school. I got a few days off. On the days off, I do my research. I prepare for classes, and basically the whole city's in lockdown, meaning that people aren't walking about. So movements are being curtailed. So it's pretty limited. So I'm most of the time at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess this pandemic, in a way, has made the world smaller because you can be in Singapore doing a course from the UK, whereas before that would be very rare. You'd probably actually have to come here and do it.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Now with the pandemic, it's brought people closer and
Mm.
stuff. But I think this arrangement with the UK has been there for quite some time with Singapore.
Yeah.
So the school has its campus there in Singapore. So it's doing a distance learning course in which you
Mm.
graduate with a UK certificate, but it's being held that way on a Singapore campus. But you're
Yeah.
right. This is absolutely something that is going on through the pandemic as well.
Yeah. And do you find it easier or harder doing it online rather than actually being in the same room, actually experiencing it in real life?
To be honest with you, being in the same room is better
Yeah.
because when you're online, there's shortcomings to having it in the class because
Mm.
it doesn't give you the same satisfaction or the feeling of being in a real classroom.
Mm.
It's a bit different trying to have a class virtually, and I would say that it's a shortcoming. It's always better to have classes in person than
Yeah.
rather have it all over the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess a lot of people would agree with that. Although I suppose you don't have to commute in the same way is one benefit, but probably the only benefit, really.
You're absolutely correct because I
Mm.
think it is commuting that is the one thing that is brought off, and it makes it much more convenient now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what is coming up in the future? Do you have any kind of long term ambitions about where you want to be?
Oh, after this, I have to get a job because
Yeah.
with the virus right now, the job employment opportunities are reduced, and it's getting quite competitive
Yeah.
because there are more and more people applying for the jobs, and people who have lost the jobs are going to be applying for the jobs as well.
Ah.
So I'm hoping to get a job in healthcare, but it's
Mm.
pretty specific what I'm looking for.
Oh.
So I don't think my chances of getting employed might be that high as compared to before. So end of the day, I need to be satisfied or happy with whatever it is that I get.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're not doing all this fun stuff, what do you like to get up to in all your spare time?
Oh, in my spare time, I like playing tennis.
Ah.
I teach students how to play tennis, like young children and people who are new to the sport. And apart from that, I also do a bit of acting on the side. So I come on the television every now and then and do a bit of advertisements as well.
Yeah, I'm actually watching the tennis right now. It's on another screen here. I'm watching Wimbledon, so that's such a coincidence that you bring up tennis.
Okay, okay, that's very nice. What's the game that's playing right now?
It's Coco Golf versus Kerber.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, absolutely. Well, where are we able to keep up to date with you everywhere if we're interested in doing that?
You can get in touch with me over Facebook. There's Instagram. There's WhatsApp. What else? LinkedIn. Any of these apps, and you can always call me directly on my phone, my Singapore phone number. If you just look me up, Surya Devan E, you'll be able to find me online and then get in touch with me directly. And it shouldn't be hard to get in touch with me at all.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It's been great having you here today.
Yes, same here. Same here. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, and to all the listeners. It's been. Hope you enjoyed listening as well.